Last night was Donald Trump's presidential address. Democrats didn't take my advice and the advice of others. I played a video yesterday or the day before of Jamel Bowie talking about this address that Democrats shouldn't show up. They didn't take our advice. Many people thought there should be a substantive response from the Democrats. And let me say this before I move on. I'm a Democrat. I'm a proud member of the party. I donate money. I support candidates. I do it for the love of my country, to make my country, and I believe by extension, the party stronger, the party better, the party more effective. And by virtue of that, the Republicans less effective. Nancy Pelosi said one time, we need a strong, robust Republican Party. No, the fuck we don't. We need a dead Republican Party. We need a Republican Party that can't harm the lives of individuals. So I was dismayed yesterday that there were a large group of Democrats who showed up to this address. And then I was more dismayed by the fact that they showed up, I guess, to protest wearing pink. That was the protest. What are we doing here? What kind of inspiration are you as elected leaders for us who are not in power? Average everyday Americans who are watching this thinking, these are people who will lead us, who will lead the uprising, who will lead the resistance, who will push back against Donald Trump's deleterious policies with their power, with their influence, with the power we've given them through election. And they show up wearing pink. Here, hang on a minute. Look at me. I'm protesting. Is this how it works? You just put on a certain color and you're protesting all of a sudden? Donald Trump is going to be driven away. His policies will be slowed, delayed, or stopped because I'm wearing pink. Come on, people. Come on, leaders. Let's get it together here. There was one instance, by the way, of Al Green, a 77-year-old man who walks with the assistance of a cane, who actually had a plan, who actually resisted, who actually showed leadership in this moment. And he was thrown out. Before I get to that, though, I want to read this tweet, because this really does go, I'm speaking more to leadership in the Democratic Party with my complaining here. Manu Raju from CNN tweeted this. Here's the tweet, but it's the last paragraph of this tweet that I really want to focus in on. Dem leaders endorsed the no applause strategy, but Jeffries and his deputies urged members against signs and props and loud outbursts. You did, huh, Hakeem Jeffries? You could show up, please. Yeah, show up. Let's all show up to support the president of the United States, our sworn enemy, the enemy of the people, the enemy of the country, the enemy of the Constitution. We'll show up and support the speech. We'll be there for the speech, but no signs, no outward displays that we're unhappy other than you can't clap. Don't clap. What are we doing here, people? You have the power, Hakeem Jeffries. I don't got the power. I got a microphone and a camera. And I'm lucky enough to have that. Most Americans don't even have that. All they've got is their TV watching what took place, the disgrace that took place last night on TV. As Donald Trump talks about his Fourth Reich bullshit, creating the most dominant civilization ever. Screaming against woke, the attacks on the LGBTQ, on black folks, on women, on migrants, on anybody who steps out against him. And is that the deal? It's too scary because we've got an authoritarian Claude as president of the United States? It did get on his nerves, though. So much so that they wrote it into the speech. Imagine, I'm getting ready to play a clip here, Donald Trump complaining that the Democrats are not clapping for him. But imagine this moment that was written into his speech, what would have had to have happened if no Democrats showed up? It would have been written in there and like, oh, what do we do now? Watch this.
Fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad.
Again, there was one moment that stood out, and that was Representative Al Green from Texas, the 77-year-old man with a cane who was unceremoniously thrown out. Very interesting, though, that the Republicans, I want you to watch, I'm going to play two clips. One is him being threatened to be thrown out, and then one's actually thrown out with the Capitol Police, the multiple big dudes who came to throw out the 77-year-old man. But remember all of the different disruptions and disrespect to the president that was showed by Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. We'll just stick with them. Those couple of idiots. The several moments where a speech was disrupted by the howler monkeys, keep on, the donkey mouth, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Remember those moments. And then when I'm showing these clips to you, remember those moments and look at J.D. Vance's face as he's indignant with his righteous indignation and his hypocrisy that this will not stand. You cannot disrupt a presidential address when this is the legacy of their party. Here is where it's threatened that Al Green will be removed. And the next one, we'll just cut straight to that one to shorten this thing. We'll go from being threatened to being removed.
Small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber. Members are directed.
Nobody was removed. Authoritarianism, fascism. He's a member of the body. Now, was it an act of civil disobedience, of protest? Yes, it was. Did he achieve his goal? Should he have been removed? He needed to be removed for it to be a statement, for it to be a protest. If he had just stood up and said something, not much of a protest. Kind of like wearing pink, right? So he was in the hallway, and this is the most important, this is the most impactful. Maybe I shouldn't have waited until 7 or so minutes in to play this, but this is him in the hallway responding to report. He's talking about the objective of him leaving and why he left and what he thinks he accomplished. And let me tell you, this is the spirit we need to bring into the Trump administration from leadership, from elected people in office, not the choice of color that you wear. Watch Al Green in the hallway.
Sir, what were you shouting to the president?
The president said he had a mandate. And I was making it clear to the president that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. I have people who are very fearful. These are poor people, and they have only Medicaid in their lives when it comes to their health care. And I want him to know that his budget calls for deep cuts in Medicaid. He needs to save Medicaid, protect it. We need to raise the cap on Social Security. There's a possibility that it's going to be hurt. And we've got to protect Medicare. These are the safety net programs that people in my congressional district depend on. And this president seems to care less about them and more about the number of people that he can remove from the various programs that have been so helpful to so many people.
Is yelling during his speech the best way to get that across?
It is the best way to get it across to a person who uses his incivility against our civility. He is a person who has consistently been used incivility against civility.
So do you think it was a mandate? Is that what you said?
Well, look, I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I didn't say to anyone, don't punish me. I've said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security.
Yes. I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against the president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. There needs to be more of this energy. Look, I'm complaining not as a bomb thrower, as being bombastic and just attacking Democrats. I'm a Democrat. I want what's best for the country and what's best for the party. And look, I'm not a cheerleader because that's not my role, I don't believe. There's plenty of people who are cheerleaders. Good for them. If that's their lane, great. It's not my lane. My lane is to drive us toward progress. My lane is to make the country and the party better. My lane is to destroy the Republican Party. That's my lane. And if that's too aggressive for you, there are plenty of other content creators out there who will scratch that itch for you. If you just need a team, that politics is a team sport kind of fella. That's not what I do. And I hope it's not what you do. I hope you want what's best for your country. But when I say that, I don't just mean the landmass. I mean our people. People who don't have a voice. I'm so lucky to be here, to have people who watch me, listen to me run my mouth with my microphone and my camera in my home studio. I'm very lucky. And I don't want to squander that luck. I don't want to squander this opportunity by just saying rah, rah Democrats when they're not meeting the moment. By any metric, they're not meeting the moment. How many senators voted for Marco Rubio and others to be cabinet members for Donald Trump? They're participating. They're acting as though things are business as usual. It's a routine moment in American history when it is not. No one can say, Republican or otherwise, that this is a routine moment in American history. A man who's declared himself king, who said he would be a dictator on day one, who has said he has every right to terminate all articles, rules, regulations, up to and including the Constitution, who talks about the poisoning the blood of our country, who attacked democracy, tried to end democracy. This is not fucking routine, people. And it's going to take more than wearing a pink outfit at a speech. Anyway, I'm going to go. I really want to know what you think. If you appreciate what I do, you can support the work. You can become a channel member. You can go to my Patreon page. Make sure you're subscribed, though. Share this video. Comment below. Let's have a conversation about this. In the lack of leadership, or in the vacuum that's left by no leadership in the Democratic Party in the House, in the Senate, we need to come up with the plan ourselves. We're on our own, maybe. I hope that's not the case, but maybe it is. Let's formulate that plan. Anyway, what do you think? You can call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to go change out of this and back into the... I didn't plan for it to be a bit, but it ended up being a bit. So I love and appreciate you very much. I hope you're in this fight for the long haul, because it's going to be a long haul. Be genuine. Take care. of one another.